I work in the hospital as a consulting physician, which involves me sitting on lots of different floors at computers near patient rooms. I usually wear scrubs and am a small female, so I get confused for a nurse pretty frequently. Yesterday I was sitting in the ICU and several parents popped their heads out to ask me questions about their children. I just responded that I'm not their nurse and pointed them in the direction of the nursing station. Finally, one parent popped their head out and tried to hand me a dirty diaper. I assumed a way for calculating their urine output, and was pretty confused that I wasn't thrilled to take it and that I wasn't a nurse. It was then that I decided to go to another floor. I went to the barber and found out no one was there. I took a seat on the side as someone else came in and asked me if I had time. I said yes, not really, or knowing what he meant. He took a seat in the barber's chair and was obviously waiting for me to give him a haircut. I have actually worked at a barber shop when I was 16 until my 21st. It had my roughly 7 years since I last cut someone, but I accepted the challenge. He of course had no clue. He told me he wanted something nice. I proposed a low fade. Can't go wrong with that. As I was cutting his hair, the real barber came inside, saw me and pretended like nothing was wrong. He even offered me a job afterwards, but I am a data engineer as of now. Just found this sub, and due to my habit of going into neighboring stores on my breaks, I've been mistaken as an employee many times. But this is my most recent encounter. My store, big name office supply store, has a dress code of either a red or black shirt with jeans and a small earpiece headset. I work in the print department, so I get to have a fancy black apron with the store's name with big, white lettering on the front. These are just general context clues for customers to know that I do work at my store. Next door to us is a big name bookstore, where they don't really have a dress code. They were currently having a sale, and, after starting my 15-minute break, I decided to go see what books I could find. I was at a middle table that is directly in the main walkway of the store. I was just picking up books and seeing which I liked when this guy walks by with his friend and begins to ask me questions regarding a certain book. Before I could even say a word, his friend speaks up, laughingly stating, "Dude, she doesn't work here." The first guy quickly notices my outfit and apron and begins to apologize profusely, saying all he saw was the headset and just assumed I worked here. I was laughing too and said it was no problem, it happens more than you think. With his friend still laughing, the two men walked away. I hope they found someone who did, in fact, work there. This story is from around 2 decades ago, and to be fair, I used to work there. I had worked at customer service, and had been at that store for years before I quit. It was still my go-to store for regular shopping as it was incredibly close and I knew everyone there. One day I stopped in and chatted with Alice at customer service since it was slow, she had no work to do, and I was in no rush. Eventually someone came up and wanted a price adjustment. Usually a very quick process, but this woman was being rude, insulting, and just a total nightmare. She was trying to claim she didn't get a sale price on something, but it wasn't the right item and Alice was trying to explain it. I don't remember the specifics, but it was something along the lines of buying the wrong size for a box of cereal. I can tell this is going to take a while, so I do my shopping, just a few essentials, and check out. After I pay, I happened to see a manager I was friends with on my way to the exit. I tried to give him a warning. "Hey, heads up. There was a woman at customer service being a real bitch to Alice, she's probably going to be a problem." All of a sudden I hear from right behind me, "Oh, you mean me? It's her. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Wait, no I'm not. Yeah, you." She starts demanding that the manager fire me. His mouth was nearly on the floor at the situation he just got dropped into, but I did get to utter those magic words before walking out the door and heading home. "He can't fire me, I don't work here." I heard cussing and yelling behind me, but I knew nothing good would come from sticking around. I talked to that manager a few weeks later. He wasn't mad at me or anything, he just reiterated to her that he couldn't do anything to me, and since I wasn't an employee the store didn't owe her any special treatment for how I acted. I was glad, I was kinda worried he'd be annoyed at me. I was on my way home after university and had to buy some things. so I just stopped at a supermarket. While I was there, an elderly kindly asked for my help to reach a product that was too high for her. She didn't mistook me for an employee, I was just there and tall, so she asked. But then, maybe because she saw that, a lady came to me and handed me a box with pastries inside and told me I let that fall and the pastries touched the ground, and I looked at her in perfect confusion. Then she said, "What do I do?" And I told her, "I'm sorry, but I don't know, I don't work here." She looked surprised, apologized and went away, leaving me confused as I was wearing a trench coat and a backpack which is far away from a staff clothing. Sorry if my English is a bit clumsy. Not a bad story or anything ... but definitely a cell phone. And I immediately thought of this sub when it happened. My daughter and I were at Target a week or so ago, and she wanted something in electronics. It was later in the evening, less than an hour from close ... so of course, electronics was even more deserted than usual. We kind of wandered around for a minute looking for someone, and I suggested that we do the, smart thing and hit the need help button on the price checker thingy nearby. But my daughter refused for whatever obstinate reason. So we're standing there debating this, and I see this guy nearby dressed in fairly casual clothes, looking at a cell phone in a rather large black rubber case. And for some reason, my brain went, "Oh, he works here. Hey, there's a person." I told my daughter, because saying, "Excuse me, sir, can you give us a hand?" He looked up, super confused, and almost simultaneously he and my daughter pointed out that he wasn't an employee. His exact words, bizarrely, were, "I'm not lucky enough to work here." My daughter then thoroughly ridiculed me. Because he wasn't even wearing red, he had on a bluish-gray shirt. In my defense, it's possible my brain mixed up my box stores and saw that like the blue that Walmart wears? I dunno. Only defense I have. I pointed out that somehow the cell phone he was holding kind of looked to me like the scanner ones they use there. That's literally the only reason I even thought it. Unlike most of the sub though ... I did realize my mistake and apologize profusely.